Now, KOAT Action 7 News live at 10. Coverage you can count on.
Tonight, we are following two big stories that are affecting your children. First, a new warning for parents about men trying to get to your kids, and a big hit to athletes as APS cuts all middle school sports. We have live coverage with the latest on both stories. We'll start with Action 7 News reporter Justin Matthews in Southwest Albuquerque.
Well, Doug, if your children go to Marion Binford Elementary School, you probably got this letter in the mail today saying a man may have threatened or chased a girl just trying to walk to school.
Why would those people do that?
What's going on in this world? What's going on with these people with trying to hurt the children?
The neighborhood is in shock.
And there's no sense in harming a child. They're innocent.
This letter tells families about this morning's incident, saying a man got out of a white four-door car, yelled, and chased a girl walking to school. The letter says it happened at this intersection, and as you can see, right across the street from an elementary school where the student was walking to. The school is also right across the street from several homes. Still, some parents who live there don't risk it.
I walk them to school and I pick them up from school. They do not leave that front of that school without me, and I walk them to their classroom.
It sounds silly, but it's not now.
Parents say the incident is alarming, and they're happy the school told them about it.
It was a good idea, I think, just to put parents on alert, make them alert to what's going on. Kids are walking to school, because there is a lot of little kids I watch every day walk home by themselves.
A lot of kids, even after school hours. While I was walking around the neighborhood, I saw several kids playing outside.
I tell the girls all the time, please don't be running out there by yourselves.
Playing or just walking to school, parents say they're always cautious, especially now. And that letter goes on to say that police actually stepped up patrols in the neighborhood, but neither APS police nor APD could confirm with me that they have extra patrols in the neighborhood tonight. Live in Southwest Albuquerque, Justin Matthews, KOAT Action 7 News.
It has been a week full of concern for Albuquerque parents. On Monday, we told you about a man walking up to girls near Hoover Middle School asking to see their feet. APS sent out a warning after our story aired, but admitted it came 2 months late. Now parents are handing out their own signs to neighbors. Then last night, we told you two men threatened girls with a gun on their way to school near Ladrones and Valley View on the west side. The district also sent a letter to parents warning them and describing the men. And tonight, a similar incident near Binford Elementary, and another letter warning parents their kids could be in danger. So what should your kids do in a similar situation? We checked with a jiu-jitsu studio that teaches kids how to avoid being bullied or abducted. The most important thing, never allow your child to walk to school alone. If someone wants to threaten a kid, they'll be less likely to do so in a large group. Also, kids should never walk while texting. They should always be aware of what's around them.
As soon as any adult comes in and makes any kind of contact with them, is a good base. Because when they have a good base, it can be really hard for the adult to pull. It might give them an extra few seconds for another car to drive by for an adult to hear what's going on, come out of their house.
Also, tell your kids to yell the word fire if they're in trouble. Someone might mistake a screaming kid for someone playing and having fun.
I had no idea that this was going to happen.
Why would they do that?
Middle school kids are not happy after we told them they could not play sports next year. APS is doing away with all district-funded middle school programs to balance the budget. Action 7 reporter Megan Cruz spoke to families who had a lot to say about this.
Doug, parents today are crying foul. They say sports are such a positive part of their children's lives. Caitlin O'Neill loves playing all kinds of sports.
Volleyball, basketball, and I run track.
So does Israel Garcia.
Track, cross country.
Students both baffled when I told them those programs would not be around next school year.
That's dumb.
Albuquerque Public Schools today said it is cutting every middle school sports program starting in the fall. The district says it needs to find ways to save money or else they'll be in the red next year by about $25 million. APS families say they understand the predicament, but
I think it's a mistake.
Believe there's other ways to find that money.
I think this is a terrible idea or decision made by APS.
APS says by cutting sports, they'll save anywhere from $500,000 to $750,000. But families insist taking them away will cost children a lot more.
They can get into drinking, they can get into drugs more, get into stuff that they're not supposed to because they don't have that extracurricular to get involved in and give them purpose.
What are you going to do if sports aren't there next year?
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Now, this is one of several major changes expected next school year. The district already plans to increase class sizes and add to teachers' workloads to find the savings they need. This could change if the legislature makes some big changes to their budget during the upcoming special session. Megan Cruz, KOAT, Action 7 News.
And we want to hear what you think. Do you agree with the district's decision? Does this affect your child? Comment on the KOAT Facebook page. Tomorrow, thousands of you will make the trek to El Santuario de Chimayo. It draws national attention and pilgrims from around the world. Some people already started the journey to the church, which is believed to have healing powers. Action 7 News reporter David Carl made that trip as well and talked to others about their long walk.
I'm walking for me. I really need this.
You know, my mom and my brothers and sisters and everybody in our whole family.
Why we walk.
It's all about love. I mean, that's all it's about. It's not religious or anything for me.
We walk for all all those in need, and especially ourselves, because we think we need it.
For some,
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee.
the journey to El Santuario de Chimayo is about a higher power.
I have a really awesome relationship with Jesus and God. And
For others, the trip isn't so religious.
Probably is for a lot of people, but for me, it's just about the love that it's like the love one another concept.
Others are remembering those no longer able to make the walk themselves.
Looking down, watching on you, what do you think he'd say?
I think he said he's very proud. And you know that he would tell me, keep on walking, don't stop.
Reporting in Chimayo, David Carl, KOAT Action 7 News.
And what kind of weather can those pilgrims expect? Here's Chief Meteorologist Joe Diaz.
Well, the key is above normal temperatures for Good Friday. First of all, for Chimayo, if you're trekking there, light jackets in the morning, like 47 degrees at 7 o'clock in the morning. But boy, after that, we're talking about above normal temperatures. It'll be breezy and 10 degrees above normal as we top off at 75 there at the church. Now, April is a windy month. Let's look at the wind projections. It's going to be in the 15 to 25 mile per hour range. Seriously, that's not too bad for April. That's not even like the blowing dust category, so that's in pretty good shape. And if you're taking the trek to Tomei Hill, it's going to be a brief cool start in the morning and then mid-80s. That's right, mid-80s, moderately windy, so sunscreen and water for you across the area. All right, Doug, back to you.
If you're driving in that area tonight or tomorrow, watch for walkers. Here are the main routes. Between Albuquerque and Santa Fe, people are walking along I-25. Then from Santa Fe to Pewaukee, US 285, and New Mexico 503. It also gets very busy along 285 to New Mexico 76. And the end of the trip is the Juan Media Road into Chimayo. And while some of you won't walk all the way to Chimayo, a lot of you will make the climb to Tomei Hill. It's another popular Good Friday tradition. Many stop at the Three Crosses to pray and ask forgiveness for sin. Some even say they experience miracles there. Once you make it to Chimayo, you'll be surrounded by the work of New Mexican Felix Lopez.
You know, once you start the piece, it is quite meditative because it's a religious piece. And if it's Mary, the Virgin Mary, you kind of think of her. If it's Christ, you think of him. I've always thought I can't be a bad person when I'm doing these, you know.
To hear more of Felix's story, open the KOAT app or our Facebook page. We're going to make sure you have everything you need to know as the pilgrimage continues. Tune in to Action 7 News more in the morning, beginning at 4:30. We'll have the latest on the traffic and weather conditions, plus live coverage from Chimayo and Tomei Hill. You can also live stream the events on our app. The city promised us it would write an Albuquerque woman a large check, and today they did. We were there as Leanne Lachey Barbie went to Civic Plaza to get her money. You can see how happy she is when she gets it in her hands. This started when she typed a comma instead of a decimal when paying her water bill last month. She ended up paying $7,000 instead of $70. When she got a hold of the Water Authority, they told her it would take 4 to 6 weeks to get the money back. She contacted us, and we got an answer within hours. Spokesperson says their system was overloaded and it had moved offices, so things were slow.
I really appreciate all the assistance from you all, from you, Royal. You've been wonderful. Thank you, thank you. I don't know what I'd have done without you.
From now on, she says she's going to triple check the amount she types in the next time she pays any bill online. Possible weapons found in a very busy spot in our city today. We got to look at the large and bizarre contraptions found at the Alvarado Transportation Center. Here's Royal to tell us why the city chose to keep them.
Most of these things were found scattered all around the Alvarado Transportation Center. ABQ Ride says they have them today to train their transit security officers. From a chef's knife taped to what looks like a bike handle to a table leg. These types of things were found stashed near trash cans, benches, or bushes on the property. A few were surrendered by people. Rick DeReyes with ABQ Ride calls them training aids to show transit security officers what they could run into on the job. DeReyes says these were not used in any attacks or found on buses.
They want to show them that they can find all sorts of things in and around the property, and that some of these things could be used as weapons.
DeReyes says these items are rarely found around the transportation center, and he assures the public that this place is safe, with transit security officers patrolling the area and the buses. Reporting in downtown Albuquerque, I'm Royal Day, KOAT, Action 7 News.
Our governor is now facing a lawsuit over the state's budget crisis. Lawmakers decided to sue her today. It's in response to her actions following this year's legislative session. She vetoed 145 bills and signed 132. They are especially upset she cut funding for universities and the legislature. Today, the governor's office responded, saying in part, the governor remains disappointed that lawmakers continue to dig their heels into the sand and shirk their responsibility to do the good work of the people. UNM is now saving hundreds of thousands of dollars previously dedicated to just 18 students. The university cut the men's and women's ski team. And for those of you who remember, that's the program that won UNM its first national championship ever in any sport. The move was made because of money issues. This will free up about $600,000 in scholarships and salaries.
We had to make that decision that night to let him go.
Next on 7, tragedy for an Albuquerque journalist losing her son to an overdose. The message she wants everyone to hear in tonight's State of Addiction.
As long as I'm able, I cannot make enough of these little wood chips. They're just magical.
And a woman making her mark on a Good Friday tradition, her gift to people making the pilgrimage to Chimayo.
You're watching KOAT Action 7 News live at 10.
So here you had a case where the story actually happened to me and my family.
As journalists, we always ask you to tell us your stories. Some of them are painful and difficult, but the hope is your story will help others. Now, a well-known and longtime Albuquerque journalist is telling hers. Last month, Journal columnist Jolene Gutierrez Kruger lost her son to heroin. She spoke to Nancy Laughlin about that and what she wants parents and kids to hear in tonight's State of Addiction.
For many of you, Albuquerque Journal columnist Jolene Gutierrez Kruger is a friend. You may not have met her personally, but you've read her work. You feel like you know her, and she feels the same about you.
I think of my readers sort of as, friends that maybe I haven't met.
For more than 3 decades, she's been asking people to share their stories.
When you have something traumatic happen in your life, we as journalists like to hear about those stories because we hope that by telling that story, it helps others.
Now, though, Jolene is telling hers, and it's not an easy story to tell. On March 25th, she wrote about her son, her child, her rock and stubborn boy, Devin, dying of a heroin overdose.
We had to make that decision that night to let him go.
Jolene says she had no idea he was using heroin.
He never liked needles, hated getting shots, could never get him to get a flu shot.
And Jolene had an open dialogue with her kids.
I said, just promise me you'll never touch heroin. I know, there'll be other things you might try, alcohol, pot, those things. But just don't try heroin. And he would promise me, no, I never will.
But on a March morning when she wasn't home, Devin overdosed. After his death, the tenacious journalist and heartbroken mom started fact-finding. She discovered Devin had likely been using since November after a breakup with his girlfriend. While Jolene had no idea this deadly drug had clawed its way into her family, others did.
There was a period of time where his friend and his younger brother carried Narcan on them.
Did you know anything about
I did not know any of that.
Jolene also learned Devin had nearly died twice before that March morning. Now, as she tries to navigate this new normal without her child, she says she'll keep writing about it, hammering home that even trying heroin in any form is Russian roulette. Nancy Laughlin, KOAT Action 7 News.
We are committed to stopping the opioid crisis in our state and the country. All year, we've brought you stories from the people hit the hardest. You can hear more of those stories by going to KOAT.com or the app and click on the State of Addiction page. We also have a list of resources in our communities to help you. We are learning more about the strange new claims in the case involving a former Santa Fe deputy. Ty Chan is about to go on trial again for killing his colleague, Jeremy Martin. The jury deadlocked when Chan went to trial last year. Now, lawyers for Chan say there was evidence kept from them, including a secret vault on Martin's cell phone. They want Chan's charges dropped. Well, today we heard from prosecutors. The DA called these developments a media ploy designed to drive a wedge between his office and Las Cruces police. They terrorize our streets, members of violent teen gangs, and tonight our state continues to try and stop them. A new group is now starting a program to look at what's working in the juvenile justice system and what's not.
They're at an age right now where their brains are still forming, and we really have the ability to hopefully reverse the trajectory that they are on. And if we do so, then we'll be decreasing not only the crime rates for now, but the crime rates for generations to come.
New Mexico and Nevada are the only two states to get the help. The task force will look over data and offer ideas on how to try and end childhood crime. The pilgrimage to El Santuario de Chimayo is happening right now. Looking at the ground, people walking will likely find a tiny wood chip made with love. Anchor Royal Day shows us the significance behind the tiny keepsakes.
As thousands begin their spiritual journey to Santuario de Chimayo.
Okay.
In the mountains north of the sacred church in a small wood shop. Deborah Higginson has been getting ready for the pilgrimage all year.
There's something that just drives me to keep doing this.
She's cutting and sanding these pieces of wood.
As long as I'm able, I cannot make enough of these little wood chips. They're just magical.
Burning hearts and inspiring messages into each one and hand painting them.
It's all about the love that people feel when they get these.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Before Good Friday, Higginson throws them out of her SUV window. The chips land along the path for pilgrims to find. She's been doing this for 20 years. Many humbled to meet her. For a long time, it's been a mystery who made them.
We have gotten them every year.
You have?
Yeah, we have about 2-3 glasses full of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're saving them. They're really pretty. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Sometimes people pass them on.
People that are needing just their spirits lifted, you know, sometimes.
Somebody in down or in despair, and you give them one of these, and it kind of gives them hope that there is a God.
Some might say there is an angel on this highway.
It's very special. Thank you.
The story she's been told.
You said last year the woman said there was a soldier in their family who died serving, and he had one of these in his pocket.
Yeah, she said, I just had to share that with you. She said he had that in his pocket, so when he died, he knew he was loved.
Wow. One for you and one to share.
Higginson never imagined what this would become.
Here, share the love. One for you, one to share.
Her tiny little love chips.
It'll be amazing when we come back, those will be gone.
Now part of something so much bigger.
Share the love.
In Chimayo, I'm Royal Day, KOAT, Action 7 News.
You know, if those chips were mass-produced by a company, it would still be very cool. But the fact that each one is handmade by her is just phenomenal.
And what she has to do, she has to cut it, sand it, get the burning utensil, and then figure out, you know, which kind of color she wants to put in on it. And, you know, everyone is kind of unique. I mean, I know there's similar styles, but everyone's unique. And to think this has been going on for 20 years.
I mean, she's probably made, what, hundreds of thousands or millions of these things? It's crazy.
What a great passion to have.
Absolutely.
Great story.